While the definition of what makes an indie game fun or enjoyable is up to each individual gamer out there, there are a few key things that I find that can help make an indie title more memorable. Easily understandable game mechanics with fun gameplay, a series of memorable environments, and a soundtrack that really sticks with you, among other things. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the fantastically designed Caravan SandWitch, in which I'll be sharing my thoughts about what I like and don't like about this title, while hopefully leaving you with a better idea on what this game is about and decide if this is something you would like to play. I'll try to keep spoilers at a minimum. Hi, for those who don't already know, my name is 10 and welcome to the letter 10. Let's go. I became aware of this game about 3 months before release because I saw someone online share a post of some of the gameplay from the game's developer, Studio Plain Toast, and I immediately knew I was going to love this game, and thankfully I was right. It's not a perfect game, mind you, but something about the style just hits me in my indie game loving heart. Chalk it up to both that this game happens to be my current hyperfixation and for my genuine love of this game, but even after my first playthrough, which by the way took me a little over 13 hours to 100% everything that the world of Sigalo offered, I can't seem to get this game off my mind. Once credit rolled on my first adventure, I immediately went ahead and created a second save file to better reflect on everything that I just experienced over the past couple of days. The colorful cast of characters, the wonderful vistas, an amazing story of course, and as well as that beautiful and memorable soundtrack, which if you do like it, it is on Steam to purchase. You can also get it on Bandcamp, and you better believe that I am going to go ahead and pre-order that vinyl soundtrack as soon as possible to have mine forever. Driving around and taking in the sights and sounds of your surroundings, both on foot and in the caravan, is one of the most relaxing experiences I've had in my years of playing and covering indie games. Now, there are always going to be other games that are more peaceful, more relaxing, but something about exploring the open world and doing fun platforming puzzles in this game, it's just so satisfying. Now, I did read a review on the Steam page for this game where someone compared it to a simpler version of Death Stranding, like a chill Death Stranding, and to a degree, I kind of agree with that. I'll bet that doesn't truly describe what this game is about. Unlike the other game, you're not picking up packages from point A to point B, but you kind of get the general vibe about it. I really appreciate that this game isn't pushing anything to the extreme with its gameplay. It's not revolutionary, but it seems to scratch the gaming itch in all the right places, at least for me. Along the way, as you're exploring abandoned buildings that lie in ruins and collecting the necessary components from broken machines to build new equipment for your van, you'll run into an assortment of townsfolk, nomads, and other inhabitants of Sigalo, each with their own backstory, unique dialogue with the main character, side quests that give you more opportunities to check out more that this game has to offer. Driving around the caravan at times feels both great and responsive, and yet it also feels like it's missing a little bit of control because when you brake in the caravan, it comes to an immediate halt that might seem a bit jarring to people more familiar with other games with different driving mechanics. That being said, by the end of my journey of my 2 playthroughs on this game, I felt like the van had become an extension of me, the player, and it felt weird leaving it even during platforming and puzzling sections of the game. Speaking of the platforming and puzzling sections, I think this is where the game really shines best. Nearly every single set of ruins you come across in this world will be set up in a way where you'll either need to climb, use parkour, pull a lever, and find the solution on how to solve the little puzzle. It really feels like the mini puzzles in this game were inspired by Breath of the Wild. Of course, this game is on a much smaller scale when it comes to the abundance of the other game. The platforming sections, while not difficult if this is your first time playing that sort of game, were all handcrafted individually, so while there is similar theme between each area, you're not going to find anything really cookie cutter with the layout and the setup of those platforming sections. Same thing goes with the puzzles. Each puzzle is going to have a different setup, and while the solutions will result in the same sort of result, opening a door, lowering a ladder, collecting more components, or locating a quest item, I still usually ended up feeling accomplished and properly rewarded for my efforts. The game did have quite a few bugs when I did my first playthrough immediately after launch. A lot of them have since been patched out by the time of this recording, with the aptly titled Update 1 released back on September 18th, 2024. But some of the problems I experienced before that patch, at time of this recording, still persist. I'm going to ignore the minor graphical glitches that I encountered during my time with the game, but there were some pretty bad issues that caused soft locks, breaks, crashes, and thankfully from what I've been able to tell from what I've read in regards to the other accounts of others, and of course my personal experience, these problems are largely gone. Outside of those graphical glitches I ran into, I did run into some platforming issues. I won't exactly call them glitches, but the constant and sometimes minorly frustrating issues I kept running into before and after Update 1 was probably with the ladders and the use of the zip lines. In the game, when you come across a ladder, you press a button and it's supposed to snap you directly onto the ladder. Sometimes this would work, and sometimes it would do nothing until moving over slightly a couple pixels. As for the zipline issues I told you about, the problem I ran into is when using the zipline attachment for the van and using the hook to attach a pole, usually on a high up building, I would go up the zipline, and right as I would approach the top, my character would just fall off the line, forcing me back to the ground and doing it again. This would sometimes happen 3, maybe 4 times in a row before I would finally be able to get back on top and continue on my way. Another issue that I've experienced and also repeated from other reviewers and commentators online is the problems with the English localization. This game is French, like really French, which I personally adore, but myself and many others have noticed that the English localization is not exactly very good. There's no voice acting in this game, so everything is spoken through speech bubbles, which I believe is the right choice for this sort of game, and even if I were to add dialogue audio, the script would probably remain relatively the same. The English localization is serviceable at best, and I was able to follow along and understand what everyone said, the context and the meaning behind the words, but the dialogue was a little clunky and messy. That's the best way for me to describe it. I understand the development team is small and may not have been able to bring on a team member to do a better job, but I don't think it detracts from the whole gaming experience. I also want to speak about how I love how this game further normalizes how progressive the world has gotten and how it could be to freely express one's identity with full love and acceptance by those you care about. I love this game so much, and I wholly recommend it, and I get so happy and excited when I see more of these sort of positive things coming from game creators. So thank you, Plain Toast. The game is now available for purchase on Steam, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 5, in which the regular price is $24.99. So please, if you liked what you've seen in this video, please check out the game. You can also find links to those store pages down in the description box, along with some social media links. I want to thank you so much for checking out this review of mine. I know it's been a while since I did a video like this, and if you're a regular visitor to my channel, you will notice this is definitely different from what I've done in the past. But something about Caravan SandWitch really inspired me. This game sucked me in until I played the game, 100% everything, and then I immediately started to play it again. It's absolutely wonderful. And you're wonderful for checking out this video. If you haven't already done so, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. But I do want to thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.